I spent the weekend in a treehouse. I unmasked the killer. I got front row tickets to the Jacksons Victory Tour, and I squeezed in some reading. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin, and this is Robin's Reading Nest. And I would also like to welcome you to the very first Cozy Chapter. Cozy Chapter will be a monthly series where I discuss books that I have read the month before. There will be life updates and bookish news. So grab a snack and a drink, and let's catch up. Today, we're diving into my March and April wrap up, and these months were exciting. I've got a birthday recap, some bookish news, some movie reviews, and of course, everything I read. So let's get into it. Okay, before we jump into the books, I want to share a little life update because it was my birthday in March and my hubby surprised me with a quick getaway. And we spent the weekend in a real treehouse. So cozy. There was one bedroom, one bath, a small kitchenette, and a tiny little living room, and there was a wraparound deck. Also, a part of my birthday getaway was tickets to medieval times. Now, I have never ever been to medieval times, so this was my first chance. Now, I love like medieval, Renaissance, Game of Thrones type settings. We were cheering for the red and yellow knight, who was a black guy with locks, and that was so cool. So his first dueling match, he won, but he lost the second one. Now all of the little like mini competitions, he won all of he won all of those. So that was pretty cool. Um so now on to the gifts. As most of you know, I was gifted Phases by Brandy. And if you have been following me, you know I have been excited about this book since it was announced last year, and I have been talking about it constantly. Also, I bought Kennedy Ryan's The Close Up, and I also pre ordered her book Score. So I got both um, versions of her cover. So I've got the green indie cover, and that one is signed, and then I've got the pink Barnes and Noble cover, which has an extended spicy scene. And also gifted me and my baby girl tickets to go see Scream 7. He's not a horror fan, so he completely skipped it. But overall, the movie was decent. I didn't like who they picked the character the I didn't like who they picked the killer to be, and I didn't like her motive. Well, I just spoiled it. I didn't like who they picked the killer to be, and I also didn't like the killer's motive. Now, the idea of Stu coming back, I love that idea, and I wish there would have been some kind of way to, oh God. I mean, I know with the TV, Stu's out of here, but I kind of like the idea of him coming back. And, you know, if you saw Scream 6, you know that Billy Loomis's daughter, Sam, was hinted at being the next killer. And I like that idea too, but idea got scrapped. So that was the end of that. And my final gift from my hubby were my Scream Travel mug and shop mug. How cute is that? And I'm not sure if this is still available, but I know it also comes in lime green. I'll link the details below in the description box. Now, for the month of April, My cousin, who is currently engaged, her and her fiance had a meet and greet, and they wanted both sides of the family to, kind of meet before the wedding and get to know each other. So it was nice. Everybody showed up from both sides and supported the couple, and their theme was red and black because her fiance likes the Georgia Bulldogs. So everybody participated, everybody was on theme, and it's April. You know how we like to do when the sun comes out, we're having cookouts. So we enjoyed ribs, chicken, chef salad, deviled eggs, pasta, key lime, cupcakes, mac and cheese. You know the works. For the month of April, I had to go to the victory tour. Of course. You know, this is going to be the last time the Jacksons perform in concert, and I had to go. So I swear, every week for the last month, a new extended trailer would pop up. And I tried not to watch them because you know how that goes. You end up paying for a movie only to realize that you saw the whole thing online. Like, I hate that. So, just like we as a people ran up sales for Sinners last year, I'm hoping we run up sales for Michael as well. I'm also hoping that there will be some award buzz for Jafar Jackson and Coleman Domingo. Um, for those who don't know, Jafar played his uncle Michael, and Coleman played Michael's dad, Joe. Overall, I give the movie an A. It would have been an A plus had Randy, Rebe, and Janet been included. I know, well, I'm not going to say it was a tiff, but I know that Janet said she didn't want to have anything to do with it. So did Randy. Not sure about Rebe because when the movie starts out, Rebe should have still been at home with everyone. As the movie progressed, yes, I can understand her not being there because at the time she was married and had kids and all, but it was just weird to see all of the siblings except for those three during some parts of the movie. Now, I am an 80s baby who was also a 90s kid who also loved the Jacksons, An American Dream. So, yes, I wanted to compare that movie to Michael. And I had to keep telling myself the Jacksons was about the entire family. Michael was just about Michael, which in a way is kind of like a continuation from the American Dream. But I don't know. Even though you try not to compare them, it's hard. But yeah. But yeah, so as the movie progressed, you could literally see Jafar transform into his uncle Michael. It was so crazy, like his mannerisms, the dancing, the tone of his voice, the singing, like he was amazing. And it was just announced that a sequel is on the way. You know what? The crazy thing is, I live in the country, as I've mentioned before, and we had um, three screens for each showing at our movie theater, empty. And to be honest, I think the only reason why is because number one, I live next to a college town, so the kids got finals, they're getting ready to go home. So I think that's one reason. The second reason is it's not a lot of uh, Michael fans that live in the country. So yeah. Uh mhm. So I think that's another reason why I told my husband I was going to go back and check because I bet they've knocked it down from 3 screens to one and probably cut down the showtime. All right, so let's move to a little bit of bookish news. So, March gave us Mayhem Immortal by Shanora Williams. We also got Judge Stone by Viola Davis and James Patterson. And I'm a little disappointed in the marketing and promotion for that book. I didn't know anything about Viola Davis writing a book until the day it released, I believe. I hadn't heard anybody talking about it, hadn't seen any ARC reviews, nothing. And then the day it was released, one of my booktube buddies who I follow, I believe she posted a review, and I was like, "Ooh," I want to watch it, but like to read the book, so I'm gonna put that on my TBR. Also for March, we got Say Yes to the Mess by Jax McQueen, Bad Seeds by Mary Monroe, and Memoirs from Brandy and Arsenio. Same thing with Arsenio's memoir. I don't remember anybody promoting it, reviewing it, talking about it, but I will also check that one out. It's on my TBR. Um, the one book that everybody was talking about was Brandy's Memoir Phases. I did an unboxing and a conversation piece about it. And if you missed it, I will link them in the description box below at the end of this video. Also, new releases for April, we got Love by the Book by Jessica George, Big Girl Blitz by Danielle Allen, Don't Tell Me How It Ends by Adrienne Thurman, Leave Your Mess at Home by Talani Akinola, the re-release of Revive Me by J.L. Seegers, Summer Official by Rebecca Witherspoon, The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop, and The Rough Side of the Mountain, a memoir by Keisha Lance Bottoms. Also, um, besides doing this series called The Cozy Chapter, I am trying to make sure that I stay consistent. So I've started posting both monthly new releases and new release Tuesdays. So the monthly new releases, it will be all of the books that will be released for that month, and then the new release Tuesday is the books that come out the Tuesday of each month. I'm going to also add Thursday too because I noticed a lot of the UK authors, their books are published on Thursday. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. Let's do some reading stats real quick. So, for March, I read 5 books, and that was 1,779 pages, and every single book was an ebook. And ratings wise, March was really productive and really good. Um, you guys know I lost my dad, coming up on a year now. And the same excitement that I had to read and review books, it was declining. And I was like, I'm going to do better. And yeah, so to almost be a year since, March was good. because yeah, last year I was doing maybe one or two books, and if you notice, I have not done like serious reviews in a minute. Ooh, I'm trying to hide unwashed hair on here. Go get that straightened out once I upload this video. But yeah, I yeah, and the thing is, I've got the notes for the reviews. I just need to take the time and just record them. So if you see me wearing the same outfit in like 5 or 6 videos, just know that I finally got the motivation and determination to do the reviews and just rock with me. Okay, so let's move on to April. April, I read 6 books, and that was 2,296 pages. All of them were ebooks except for Phases, and that was a hardcover. And ratings wise, April was also an amazing, amazing reading month. Okay, so let's do some highlights really quickly. So, my favorite book for the month of March was Where the Wildflowers Grow by Terah Shelton Harris. I love her. Every book that she has put out has been absolutely delicious. I have gobbled up everything that she has put out. And everything, because I don't rate anything 5 stars. All of my books are 4 stars. So when I got to this book, I was like, this this is not speaking to me like all of her other books. And then I thought, well, maybe I'm in a reading slump. Maybe with everything that's going on in life, maybe that's why I'm just not in tune with this book. Like, I am not understanding. And I did not DNF it. Once I got to the end, I realized I was wanting the female main character to tell me her story as soon as I opened the book. But once I got to the end, and also after I saw an interview that Terah Shelton Harris did on it was the Gwinnett County's public library page. She did an interview and she said her husband said the same thing. He didn't like the female main character because he felt like she was whiny. And Terah went on to explain that some people have to tell their stories in their own time. You can't rush them, and trauma, affects what people say and do. And I was like, that's it. That's why that book kind of dragged until the end, because I wanted her character to just give her story and just give bits and pieces. But you can't force anyone to do that. You just have to sit back and listen. And I even commented that on that YouTube video. I was like, yeah, I did not like this character, but you are absolutely right. It's not my job to make her tell her story. It's just my job to listen and not judge. So I said all of that to say that ended up being my favorite book for the month of March, and I gave it 4 stars. My biggest surprise for the month of March is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. Now, this is a retelling of the story of Cinderella, and it starts 200 years after Cinderella has passed on. And just like with the original story, there's a ball, and all of the young women in the countryside, province, kingdom whatever, the town, everyone is invited to find a suitor. But the main character, who is a lesbian, she doesn't want to do it. She feels it's barbaric, is death to the patriarchy, and all of that. So, yes, that ended up being kind of good. Kalynn Bayron also did a retelling of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Snow White. So, the never ending, always growing TBR will get get those books added to it as well. For the month of March, the book that I cannot stop thinking about was James by Percival Everett. And I know I am behind. I am what, 2 years behind, I think. But that book, oh my gosh. I want to say I was on the wait list for that book for like 10 months, maybe. Yeah, about 10 months. And then when I got it, I said, oh, I see why. That book was absolutely amazing. I loved it. And I tried to go back and read Huckleberry Finn because I was like, I think I remember reading it in high school, but I wasn't too sure. I got halfway and DNF'd it. So I may pick that back up again just to finish it. But yeah, entirely two different POVs, entirely two different writing styles. And I think I like Percival Everett's version better. Okay, for April, my favorite book, Phases by Brandy. Of course, of course, of course. My biggest surprise was Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. I am adding a plus size player to my TBR, and I am going to be finishing up Big Girl Blitz. That's the newest one. Now, if you absolutely love Kennedy Ryan's Skyland series, Before I Let Go, This Could Be Us, and oh God, I always forget the last one. What is the last one called? Can't Get Enough. Whew, awful. Can't get enough. If you love that series, then you will most definitely love Danielle Allen's Curvy Girl Summer series. Um, they pretty much kind of have the same premise. Three friends, each one dealing with something different, and they find love. So, yeah, add that to your TBR. The hidden gem for the month of April was The Johnson Four by Christina Hammonds Reed. And that book spanned through 4 decades of this boy band made of siblings. And is kind of reminiscent of the Jacksons. Um, it tells about how this family is trying to become famous. The dad is doing all he can to get their names out there. But as time passes by, the oldest brother is no longer interested. The middle brother, he has undiagnosed autism. So it's like there are days when, yeah, he wants to perform, and then there's days he wants to everyone to leave him alone because it's too much. That's what he always says. It's too much. It's too many people. It's too bright. It's too hot. And then you have the baby brother who his story kind of sounds like Michael Jackson. He becomes the breakout star. But before they become famous, they meet a ghost, and the ghost goes home with them, And yeah, you got to read it. I'm telling you, I don't know why I have not seen anyone do an ARC review, a book review, a snapshot. I have not seen anyone talking about this book, and I don't understand. I really don't. And like I said, if you see me in 5 or 6 videos with the same outfit, mind your business. Because I think I'm going to review that one because that one needs to get a lot more press than it did. Okay, and my book for the month of April that I cannot stop thinking about is I, Medusa by Ayana Gray. And that one was, wow, yeah. Had I not loved Brandy's book, this would have been my favorite book as well. And this is the story of how Medusa got to have her, well, they call it a curse. I wouldn't call it a curse, I would call it a power. How she started to turn everyone into stone and have her snakes in her hair. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book. And going into May, I'm going to read The Close Up by Kennedy Ryan. And like I said, I'm excited for her release of Score. Um, Also, Plus Size Player, Big Girl Blitz, Junie by Erin Crosby Eckstein. I hope I pronounced her name right, Eckstein. I've seen a few people talk about that, so I've got that on my May TBR and my Libby holes. The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. This came out in November, I believe, and Libby is got me high on the waiting list for it now. And The Seven Daughters of Dupree by Nikisha Elise Williams. So yeah, Libby has me getting closer and closer. So these look like my May hopefuls. So we'll see if I actually stick to these books or if I completely spiral into mood reading. Hmm. All right, you guys, that's everything from my March and April wrap ups. Let me know in the comments what your favorite book of the month was, or if you read any of the books that I have mentioned. I will also list them in the description box below. And yeah, I would love to talk to you guys about them. Also, while you're here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it. And you can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and the Storygraph at Robin's Reading Nest. All right, you guys, thank you for being here to see my first ever episode of The Cozy Chapter. And I thank you for visiting Robin's Reading Nest, where birds of a feather read together. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.